male aggression was the main like driver of radio rock and roll for like for up until arguably even now.
Oh yeah,
but
sure.
What is called toxic masculinity now is called like sort of an admirable
aggression or something.
Like, it was just like
he's a man's man.
He's got a lot of energy and like if cocaine like made that even more. It was like highlight. It was like you want to feel even more masculine, quote unquote masculine.
Yeah,
right.
You take your already fucking bad attitude and you throw some fucking cocaine on that fire, and then you'll be ready to fuck pretty much anything.
Are you saying these were rude dudes with bad tudes?
Yeah, yes. And they would, they were like, like they were already, and being horny was like the main thing, and they all thought that was hilarious because there were no female perspectives in the industry, so it was like everything was just about like all the songs were about was like I'm fucking horny, and then the other songs like I'm hornier than you, and then like and then they put cocaine on it, and they just got together at radio station conventions and talked about how horny they were, and everybody was horny, and that was the prime mover or the main subject of art for like a long time. So Lou Gramm was one of the embodiments of, his persona on stage, and it turns out like his whole real persona was pretty much this ultimate man thing, which was all the front people back then were supposed to be the ultimate man. The ultimate man had long hair, and the ultimate man had like was super horny, and in his case had a lot of bandanas on. Like his tied on his leg and around his neck.
And this is
Rising Sun bandana for some reason. That Japanese kamikaze flag was like everybody's wearing those for some reason.
And this is Lou Gramm. Lou Gramm from Foreigner, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So his delivery says it all. The man is and a lot of finger pointing at women in the lyrics. Like you're as cold as ice, and I was trying to do my best, and it's your fault. It was always that.
I think a lot of
so
that.
Now I'm coming for you, and I won't stop you. Whoa! Don't try to lock the door. I'm gonna kick it down, but then I'll be nice after that.
I'm already in your room.
I'm coming at you, but just because I love you,
I'll be in your bed when you get home.
Writing you a love letter.
You can't run from me.
I'm in your bed when you get home with the best intentions to give you a flower.
That's where the poetry comes into the mix.
I think a lot of that shit came from Robert Plant too.
Oh, sure.
Because he's doing this shit in the late '60s, and I guess Jim Morrison too to a certain extent. But Robert Plant, you can listen to like a lot of Zeppelin's live records and stuff, and he's just actively flirting with people in the fucking audience.
Well,
and
that's pretty on the nose. But the sheer level of horniness. It's a whole lot of love. All that stuff is very suggestive. But like
shit, it's explicit,
right? But when it gets to like what is it, AOR rock or this era that we're defining like with Foreigner, and Journey and all that shit. It's very like blatantly like love me or love me, never leave me is the.
Well, there were basically no women in the industry, so there was no one policing the whole music industry was essentially a locker room from like 1930 to 2000 now. So like Lou Gramm's persona was just always funny to me, only because I thought he just seemed like he was on cocaine, but I thought he wasn't because it was too obvious. And it turns out that after like a few years ago, I just looked at his Wikipedia, and it turned out he was addicted to cocaine.
His last name is Graham.
It would just seem too on the nose, the whole thing, no pun intended.
Yeah.
But I just thought this man is too. I think he's probably just like a really energetic guy.
Yeah.
But now he looks like he got run over by a fucking bulldozer.
Yeah.
And I kind of like it because he's like a dinosaur. Like that time will never come again where it's like you can do cocaine all day long, like and everyone else is too. And like imagine really, because in the music industry back then, they talk about it really being like a lot of people, a lot.
Yeah.
It was a huge problem, they say, which, basically they say it was pretty common for everybody to be doing cocaine all day from like, from the years like 76 to 1984 or whatever.
Yeah.
And I, even past that, but the idea of like dealing with people on a regular basis who are doing cocaine, people who do cocaine all day. I don't know if you've ever known anybody who does. I've known people who do cocaine all day.
Yeah.
And
at night, but never all day.
It's a crazy setting to be on. I mean, it's not. It's like you're. So I feel like hearing Lou Gramm. And at that time, they thought it was just like some stimulant, like almost like a vitamin. So he probably just thought he was doing his best.
Yeah.
You know, he was being his best. Like, I mean, that was like his lyrics. Like, I'm just being my best. You know, I'm like, baby. You know,
Put my best foot forward.
I don't know why my life keeps fucking up because I'm just at my best. I've been,
baby.
I'm always at my best.
I just want to know what love is.
Why is everybody so mad at me?
I run hot.
Yeah. He's running hot. So
hot-blooded. Catch it and see. Got a fever of 103.
He wrote a song called Midnight Blue, which I really, really like. For real, but it also is a very funny song. But I actually, it's actually a pretty good song. But he also wrote Jukebox Hero, which we were talking about, and I was watching this Canadian YouTube series called Behind the Vinyl, where they have an artist talk about their process writing a song, and it's during the space of the song being played. So they play the song like Jukebox Hero, and during the length of the song Jukebox Hero on a record player playing next to them, the artist tells the story of that song.
Yeah.
And so Lou Gramm talks about how he wrote that song, and it's just a really interesting thing that I would like to possibly reenact as a stage play, starring myself.
And I started hitting that bass drum pedal to put this solid beat in there, and the words started coming to me, and I wasn't really singing. I was half talking it, half singing it.
And that's when he talks about they had a chorus, they had an explosive chorus. Lou Gramm's like, yeah, we had part of this song. I was working on the other part.
It developed into a full-on song that was very moody and had an explosive chorus.
Like a crack went down someone's glasses when they thought
Looking
of it.
for a home. Like he was like, we did have an explosive chorus. Explosive.
Well, we did. We did have an explosive.
Yeah,
chorus.
we had an explosive chorus. I knew that already. I was working on it. I was massaging. We had an idea for a song. We massaged it. He says that. We massaged. We get together. We would massage it. Massaging the verse. We already had the explosive chorus. I don't know why that makes me so happy to picture two grown men on coke massaging
massaging a chorus.
The verses to a song called Jukebox Hero.
Yeah. Giving it a happy
here we go.
ending.
It's worth giving it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we can kind of
okay, so this is the part that Lou wrote in his own basement, kicking a kick drum. He admitted this.
A grown man just kicking a kick drum.
He's doing it right here
on cocaine.
All there is happening is a kick drum.
A little bit of synth, a little bit of light synth.
Oh, the blanks are filled in, but he said how he wrote this.
Yeah.
And he wrote this sitting in his basement, kicking a kick drum and saying this stuff out loud.
And then the chassis and the fucking doors were made.
It keeps going. It's like, can you imagine? He's in a mansion at this point. They were already famous.
Yeah.
He's in a mansion, and his wife's like, what are you doing down there? And he's like, had to beat up 6 string. Didn't know how to play it. Lou, what are you doing? You all right? Yes, I'm all right. I'm working.
You like living here?
That's one guitar. The kids are asleep. Would you stop doing cocaine for 1 second? It's a vitamin. It makes me function better. I'm at the height of my masculinity right now. Don't interrupt me. You know when my masculinity's running high, that's when I write the best.
My masculinity's peaking.
Dr. Lots of Papa gave it to me, okay? It's good for me.
So the whole song is him kicking.
Oh, here comes the monster chorus.
Well, no, here we go.
Yeah.
This is the explosive chorus.
Explosive chorus. Yeah.
It is an explosive chorus, especially that. Well, I think they call it a hot lick. This part right here.
Oh yeah. They tell no lies. This is definitely explosive.
Yeah, it's a hot lick.
Well, it's also weird that means someone else in the band was just out of context was like, Jukebox Hero, stars in his eyes, but they had nothing else.
Yeah, they had that part.
Yes.
So
that was the explosive chorus. They were just looking to hitch that to something.
So that's the part that was written.
So I was like, listen, first of all, I can't believe you borrowed my yacht and ran it aground. Mick Jones from Foreigner, my co-writer. Hi, I'm Lou Gramm. I just showed up for our co-writing session. Mick, I think you're an asshole for grounding my yacht.
Look, the red lights on the buoy mean there's rocks.
I mean, for God's sake.
We talked about this in boat school.
I have to send a fucking And in Monte Carlo, I don't have a guy in Monte Carlo. I'm gonna have to hire us anyway. I'm gonna tow that thing out, but it makes me mad.
Yeah.
And I know you were writing. I know you were in the middle of writing something on the yacht, and you got lost in it because you were taking your masculinity powder, your art powder. I know you were trying to function. You were trying to take your art powder and get your masculinity up to. I understand. Because when my masculinity is out of control, the last thing I'm worried about is boats and where they are.
My creativity vitamins. My vitamins. My creativity vitamins.
So he's like, listen, man, this is what happened. I'm in a lot of trouble with Linda. She's pissed at me. I was up all night last night kicking this kick drum, taking masculinity powder. And I was writing, I was basically like, I got one guitar. I bought it in the rain. I bought a one-way ticket. And it's about a lonely guy who's kicking a kick drum, basically. And that's what I was doing. So that's why I was writing about it. It was like, and his wife's mad at him, but I took that part out. And anyway, so I wrote that, but do you have anything that will go with that?
Yeah.
And I've been massaging that thing all day.
My fingers hurt.
Mick Jones is like, sorry. Mick Jones, I think, was English, but I can't do an English accent. But he was like,
right.
Sorry, I ran your boat aground, Lou.
Sorry, I grounded your yacht.
But I was working, and I was trying to get as masculine as possible. So
thank you for massaging it all day. Now let's finish him off.
So he's like, well,
let's finish her off. I've been on the art dust all day.
I was working.
I can't wait. Now I've got an explosive chorus, and I understand you've been kicking your drum a lot at your house.
I love that he's a working class guy from Liverpool.
Yeah. He's a Beatle.
Yeah.
The fifth Beatle.
So anyway, yeah. So he's like, Mick Jones is like, well, I do have this one thing I have this one chorus. It is fairly explosive. Jukebox hero, stars in his eyes. I'm a jukebox hero, and I had nothing for that. I just came up with that.
Just calmly.
What happened was my girlfriend at the time yelled at me, and I got very angry, and I went in the bathroom and I was screaming that at her. I'm a jukebox hero, and then I was like, oh my god, that's an explosive chorus, actually.
What once was verbal abuse is now an explosive chorus. Oh man, that's
you were supposed to drop the kids off at school. You know?
I can't. I'm a jukebox.
Sorry,
hero.
I'm a jukebox hero. I got stars in my eyes.
Now,
You're an asshole.